Hi, I'm Paul Darley, and thanks for tuning into our September issue of Inside Darley. On Thursday, August 25th, we held our second annual H2O golf outing, and that's to raise money for water purification systems that we donate around the world. And this year, again, we raised over $25,000, and we'll be donating water purification systems into Cuba. And in the past, we've donated them to Nepal as well. As you may be aware, September is National Preparedness Month, and if you've never checked out the FEMA website, ready.gov, I would encourage you to do so. It's a very easy to navigate site where you can go and find information on, how to prepare for just about any type of disaster, from a cyber disaster to an earthquake to flooding. And on the flooding end, our hearts certainly go out to those on New Orleans who have been hit again. It's just devastating, and also to those in Italy by the earthquakes. And we at Darley feel a little bit that we're helping out that cause a little bit. FEMA is sending down mobile housing units that will have our residential fire sprinkler systems equipped in those. And our first attachment here is actually some residential information on our residential fire systems. And if you want more information on that, you can go to our website, which is firesprinklerpumps.com. I'm not sure if you've heard much about authentic leadership, but if you haven't, I'll tell you, you'll hear more about it in the future. And our second attachment here is a great article that was just put out by Northwestern University, and it's 5 tips on becoming an authentic leader. And it talks about, number one, you've really got to know yourself and have a self-awareness, and that's really the first step of emotional intelligence. And if you're going to be authentic, you've got to be comfortable in your own skin. Number two, you've got to learn how to connect with people the right way, and that's kind of this chameleon effect. So you change your style to adapt to whatever folks you're leading. Number three, make sure that you're discreet in the way that you manage people. Number four, play to your strengths. So don't try to be someone who you're not, and leverage what you're really strong on and go and get help in those areas where you're weak. And lastly, keep requesting feedback from your team, and we do a lot of this at Darley. It's not always easy to accept that feedback. We do 360 performance reviews that are submitted anonymously. If you've never done one of those, send me an email at pauldarley@darley.com, and I'll send you a copy of what we use. But it's really good to just get that check and make sure how you're doing from a leadership standpoint. These days, half of our business, if you can imagine, is firefighting, half of it is defense related. And our last article is 7 leadership lessons from the battlefield to the boardroom. And the Wall Street Journal recently interviewed General Stanley McChrystal, and this article talks about his 7 tips on really taking what he learned out in the battlefield and bringing it into whether it's your company or your boardroom or your fire department. And he talks about, number one, location is everything. You got to get out of your office and spend time with the troops, whether that's your employees, your customers, or whomever. Number two, make decision making. Set a time on your decision making. A lot of people, as a leader, will come to you looking for quick decisions, and maybe let those things percolate a little bit. Number three, he talks a lot about clarity. You've got to be very clear with your troops on exactly what the marching orders are. Number four, what got you here is not going to get you there in the future. Number five, he talks a lot, and we do too at Darley, about speed and agility. We look at speed, that it's a real competitive advantage for us. It's not the big that eat the small, it's the fast that eat the slow. Number six, linking strategy to execution, which is probably the biggest, the hardest thing for leaders to do, is taking that strategy and getting it into an executable form. And lastly, bringing it all together, fusing it all together, as he says. So thanks for tuning into this issue of Inside Darley. If there's anything we can be doing to support you, we hope you'll reach out to us.